Is this the first time we watching college basketball where I know more girls than guys? Name five guys in college right now, Pete. I know Caitlin, I know, you feel me?
I know the girls.
Man, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Dawn Stanley too, man. The Gamecocks second year
South
in a
Carolina.
row, going fucking undefeated. She can go right to any hood right now and get a bucket. That's what I'm saying.
If you gave her 30 minutes in an NBA game, can she get a bucket? I think so. I think she can get 10.
Kevin Garnett just said something about Caitlin Clark that's got the WNBA shook. It's not just what he said, it's what it means for the future of the league. Want to know what's got KG and everyone else buzzing? Stick around, because we're about to spill the tea on Clark's game-changing performance. A bombshell regarding Caitlin Clark was recently dropped by Kevin Garnett. The WNBA is reeling from the impact of the NBA legend's remarks. For some reason, KG's comments have gone viral. What gives the whole league the willies?
Guess what the one thing we got to talk about? We got to talk about the pace of the game. Dallas gonna have to make the pace of the game quicker because they're not scoring enough. In the summer, if you know what I'm saying, go back to where you at respectfully, have camps, have a whole bunch of program where you establish, bro. That's the move. And that's gonna leave a lot of people out of it. And that's where we at. That's what I got to say, yo. Respect. Real shit.
Caitlin Clark was not the dominant force she is today when she initially played in the WNBA. She struggled to adapt to the professional game, as do many rookies. There was no way to prepare for the heightened level of physicality, pace, and intensity. Clark was brilliant at times, but he lacked consistency. There were others who began to question the veracity of the hype. However, the Olympic break was Clark's hidden weapon. The other players viewed it as a break, but Clark saw potential. She didn't merely pause, she accelerated her preparations. An amateur, you would assume, would take that time to unwind, maybe even watch a little Netflix. Certainly not Clark, she was acting like a wild beast. So how did Clark spend his time off? The first step is to study films, analyzing defenses and player trends, watching game tapes for hours on end. However, there is more. In the weight room, Clark slammed the door. Strength training was something she knew she had to do if she wanted to compete with the pros. When it comes to playing basketball, she practices her shot, handles, and footwork non-stop. What is the outcome? She had transformed into a new player by the time Clark returned to the field. She seems to have skipped a complete year of maturation. What about Mercury, the Phoenix? Their next revelation would reveal how many levels Clark had gained. Clark didn't merely play admirably, she absolutely dominated in that game versus the Mercury. A total of 29 points, 10 assists, and 5 rebounds are in question here. So here's the thing, those numbers, however amazing, don't reveal everything. Clark called plays, found open teammates, and directed traffic like an old pro. She had an astronomically high basketball IQ. In particular, Clark's self-assurance was striking. No longer was she behaving like an amateur. It was as if she were the only player on the court. Confidence exuded from every action and choice conveyed the message. I belong here, and I'm here to win. Who will defend Mercury? Clark had no response from them. Their strategies were being dissected by her as she took advantage of incompatibilities and set up opportunities for her teammates and herself. Her scoring style was more important than the fact that she was scoring. Acrobatic layups, precision passes, clutch threes. Clark showed it all. Her composure under duress was, however, Clark's most remarkable performance. Even when the game was getting down to the wire, Clark refused to back down. It was something she wholeheartedly accepted. When her squad needed a huge play, she delivered. That's really unusual for a rookie to do. A solid performance from a rookie isn't enough to describe this game. That was a declaration. To the rest of the WNBA, Clark was making her arrival and her intentions clear. This was a formal notice to the league, and when that happened, legendary player Kevin Garnett took note. KG isn't someone who carelessly bestows compliments. People pay attention when he talks. And his thoughts on Clark? This new perspective has the potential to alter our understanding of how WNBA rookies progress. Many had failed to notice what Garnett had brought to light. He referred to Clark's withdrawal from the Olympics as a blessing in disguise. Clark had this unanticipated break as other rookies were put into the thick of things throughout a full WNBA season, and she put it to good use.
I think the WNBA, this is just my view, bro, they've established something and they built something, right? They got something of not just interest, but influence, politics in there. You gotta have talent too, bro. It's a new wave that is here. Caitlin Clark gonna be a lot more smarter. She's gonna have a lot more to say. She's gonna have a lot more to, you feel what I'm saying?
KG's hypothesis: unlike other rookies, Clark got the opportunity to make an off-season adjustment during this break. It's as if she had a little break in the midst of her first year. The outcomes are evident from the data. Clark returned to the NBA a better player, with more experience under his belt and a head full of new ideas. All eyes are on Kevin Garnett whenever he talks. What did he say about Caitlin Clark though? Everyone is talking about it. KG is more than simply a former player. He is a legendary figure, a champion, and a highly esteemed voice in the industry. As a result, news about a rookie that he discloses is sure to make headlines. While watching Clark play, Garnett noticed something that the other players had overlooked. That's the kind of wisdom that distinguishes great players from merely excellent ones. He saw more than simply her statistics and highlight clip. KG probed further into Clark's fundamental game. What then did Garnett observe that so impressed him? Being well prepared is key. Clark's performance against the Phoenix Mercury was more than simply a matter of natural ability, as KG pointed out. Significant effort transpired behind the scenes to make it happen. Says him, you can tell she was in the film room. Coming from a player who is known for his own rigorous training, that is quite an endorsement. Further though, Garnett's insight extends. He thinks Clark's vacation during the Olympics was a hidden weapon. Midway through the season, the majority of rookies do not get an opportunity to regroup and adjust. However, Clark, during that time off, she essentially set up her own personal gym. KG referred to it as a off-season adjustment. Often rookies don't experience this until their very first off-season. It was evident in her performance.
I'm watching Shorty, Caitlin Clark go through shit. I'm watching all, man, rookies, you're gonna go through some shit. And guess what? When you're it, when you got the bullseye on your back, when you it, it's gonna come with some shit. Bro, all this is gamemanship, all this go with the game, all this, P, you know exactly what I'm saying. Bro, you have to come in here, bro, in the drill, old head, ready on the drill. You hear me? It's a sign of respect when niggas start doing this bullshit too. When they start nipping you in, and yeah, okay, I'm on here.
Clark returned with a completely new appearance, with more assurance, feels better managed. It's as if her growth was accelerated. Out of nowhere, she found herself not only participating, but also steering the ship. However, this is about more than just Clark. What Garnett said may cause a paradigm shift in our understanding of how WNBA rookies progress. Would it be possible for teams to incorporate strategic breaks for their younger players? Maybe there should be more organized adjustment periods to give novices a chance to adjust. The true mystery, though, is how Clark put this secret weapon to work for him to become the court's undisputed champion. Getting quicker or stronger isn't the only goal. A new level of basketball intelligence was brought back by Clark. Put it in your mind, the majority of rookies are simply attempting to match the tempo of the professional game. They're responding, not making a statement. However, Clark, after taking a hiatus, she returned to the helm of the show. She was in charge of calling plays, matching up teams, and taking advantage of defensive holes. That's the stuff of pros, not the motions of beginners. Furthermore, offense is only one aspect. Clark's defense also got better. In her excitement for upcoming games, she would dart into passing lanes and create mayhem. It's as if, while on vacation, she downloaded the whole Phoenix Mercury playbook. The most remarkable thing, though, was perhaps how Clark elevated her teammates with her newfound understanding. She wasn't merely seeking personal recognition. Everybody on the floor was getting a chance thanks to her. A real leader would do it. Thanks to Garnett's perceptiveness, we see that Clark is intelligent as well as talented. That is a lethal combo in the WNBA. She refuses to settle with relying on her inherent skills. On the contrary, she is perpetually seeking out new knowledge and methods to better herself. Great players are distinguished from good ones by this quality. On game day, there are other factors to consider as well. What really matters is the effort you make when no one is looking. All the time spent working out, watching tape, and researching your rivals. And that is the key that unlocks the door to actual output. Clark returned not just better, but also smarter. This person has a basketball IQ that has the rest of the WNBA baffled. The youngster made such a huge improvement so quickly. How did that happen? During the Olympic break, Clark went into beast mode as the rest of the team rested. She made the film room her home, not just her gym. Like an old hand at analyzing game film, Clark was studying up on every possible defensive strategy, play, and move. Finally, the enchantment? When Clark returned to the court, it occurred. It was like a bolt of lightning from a basketball wizard. Rather than merely playing, Clark organized the game against the Phoenix Mercury. Defenses were left bewildered by her split-second decisions, traffic directions, and play calling. You are aware that the majority of rookies are merely attempting to match the velocity of the professional game. The tempo was being set by Clark. Always one step ahead, she was flawless. As if while on vacation, she studied the WNBA playbook in its entirety and returned prepared to humiliate everyone. Let's dissect Clark's outstanding performance. To begin, she had unreal court vision. She wasn't merely identifying available players, she was genuinely making space for them. Clark skillfully exploited gaps that the majority of players were oblivious to. Also, she scores a lot. What Clark was doing was efficient, not merely point scoring. She had a great sense of timing and could divide her attention between taking charge and facilitating. That's the stuff of pros, not the motions of beginners. What truly distinguished Clark, though, was her defense. Clark, unlike most rookies, had no trouble controlling the tempo at that end of the court, predicting passes and thwarting plays in their infancy. She was a master of disruption. It was as if she had a premonition of the Mercury's actions. As if she possessed the cheat codes, Clark demolished the Mercury's protection. Even before they got set up, she started yelling out their plays. Amateurs don't act that way. Not many veterans actually do that. However, Clark, it appeared effortless to her. Is Clark's basketball IQ something you're interested in knowing? Be careful not to let her eyes wander from the ball. When they are down a rock, most players just kind of shut off. Certainly not Clark. In order to make room for her teammates, she is always on the go and establishing screens. The kind of things that win games but don't appear in the box score are those. Her composure in high-stakes situations is something to discuss. Clark refused not back down when the game was on the line late in the second half. It was something she wholeheartedly accepted. Big plays, clutch shots, and most importantly, good decisions. That's what she was doing. Those aren't skills that can be taught. That's natural talent, and Clark possesses it abundantly. It's as if Clark pressed a button to accelerate her career. She is no longer behaving like an amateur. The way she's been playing, she could be named Most Valuable Player. The whole WNBA is abuzz about that. The real point, though, is that Clark isn't only switching up her strategy, all of the WNBA is going through her. When it comes to expectations for young players, she's setting a new standard. She's proving that even complete newcomers may succeed on the first day if they put in the time and effort to prepare properly. Put it in your mind. It takes time for players to adjust to the pro game, is a phrase that coaches often use. Clark is completely disproving that notion. She adapted more quickly than anybody had anticipated. However, this is about more than just Clark. Here we are discussing the WNBA's future. How teams approach developing rookies will be changed by Clark's success.